Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Charade Maniacs, continuing Kyobo's route. And anyway, were we just visiting our chuckle fucks again and playing a game? Standard, I feel like, for this. Anyway, a great job following through with that, Jinx. Amazing. You lost to Haiji even though it's his first time. Oh, right, we were playing Old Maid. Okay. It's been a day. I didn't record this right back after the last one. It's the next day, so I forgot. Anyway. So the Joker is the weakest card in the game. It's not so much the weakest. If you have the Joker at the end, you lose. Right, but you know there's a game where the Joker is the strongest. Aren't I amazing? Bastard. Oh, hold on, my cord's all messed up. I know, buddy. Okay, well, it's gonna have to stay that way. It's, like, tangled up anyway. Yeah, well, there are a bunch of different games. So what do we do next? Would you prefer a different game? Okay, sorry, bird. My cord was just, like, tangled up underneath my little footrest. And I was, like, pulling on it. I'm like, ooh, it's tight. Pulling. So I had to, like, lean forward, and so now he's all fakakted. He's like, God damn it, I was comfortable. He literally went from being on my chest, ran around my right shoulder, came around my left, to go back on my shoulder. I mean, on my chest. He just ran around in a circle on my body. You're weird. Anyway. Yeah, okay, different game. We're in it. Oh, whoops. Let's play one more time. I'll win this time. There you go. Jinxed again. Alright, let's go for that double win. You know we're gonna lose again, right? Who's at the top now? I've won 4 times and Haiji's won twice. I won once, and as for Sena... What? Lost all of them. That's just refreshing. One more time. I was wondering why. I'm like, why is my bird feel wet? Right, I forgot he took a bath. I forgot you took a tubbies. I could feel the dampness of your feathers on my chin, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, why? Right, okay, wet bird. God, he was wet. Oh, come on, do better. It's hard to get motivated when someone always loses. I try to get stronger and get me to play seriously. There you go again with that. Whenever I look at you, I can't help but want to tease you. Now let's have a change of pace by switching places. Now, as I suggested, we trade places and resume playing. This time, I drew cards from Haiji, while Dazai drew from me. The Joker went 2 rounds and came back to my hand. Kyobo won again. The first one out. So who has the Joker? Not me. You don't have to admit that. Haiji, if you say that, I'll let Dazai know that I have it. Oh, it'll let Dazai know that I have it. Here you go, Dazai. Yeah. I meekly held out my cards and Dazai drew the Joker. I couldn't help but smile. All that was left in my hand was the 4 of spades. It was then my turn to draw from Haiji, and the card I drew was... Yay, I won! It was the 4 of hearts. I got a pair of 4s. I got second place. Did you say the 4? Oh, 4 of spades. I don't know why in my head I was thinking the ace of spades. That's the image in my head when I read 4 of spades. I don't know. Anyway. I got a pair of 4s. I got second place. Okay. I smell cheating here. Huh? I didn't cheat at all. There was no cheating, I think. You sound like you did cheat. You let her win, didn't you? Look at that. Okay. Like, something's gonna come. Is Dazai the producer, guys? Because Jesus Christ. Like, oh dear God. Guys. I can't. I love him. Like, not as much as I love Obama, alright? Like, never that much. But, like, Dazai's just being so nice, and that's so suspicious, because he's one of the last characters you play, and, like, you know, now I'm, like, really sus. And I'm like, I like him, he seems so nice and sweet, and this game is really knows how to bamboozle me. Anyway. No, I played seriously. Reading Sena's expressions is way too easy, so I just drew a card without looking at her face. It was written all over my face? It was obvious, Big Sis Sana. Yeah. Then I'll try to remain expressionless next game. I have to beat Gyobu. Well, saying that, it ended the battle between Dazai and Haiji. Haiji ended up in last place. I gathered the cards and dealt them again. Are you still gonna play? I thought you'd give up after losing this much. It's fun even though I'm losing. It's fun even when you lose. Yeah. Yobu, you don't seem that serious, but I am. Anything can be fun when you're serious about it. Oh? Then let's switch places again. They sit next to me because you're under suspicion of cheating. I said I wasn't cheating! Yobu sat between Dazai and me, and we restarted the game. Hey, if you're so serious about it, let's make a bet. A bet? Yeah, that'll make it more exciting. What do you say? What do you want to bet? Ice cream? Like one each? You're the only one who'd be happy with getting 3 ice creams. Let's do something more amazing. Oh no, something amazing? I wondered what that was as Gyoba took a card from my hand. He matched a pair and discarded it. Oh god, he's gonna go for a kiss, isn't he? The first one to win will get to ask a question of the person in last place, and the loser has to answer honestly. Oh, okay. Truth or old maid. Got it. I mean, to answer without lying. Yep. Okay. Oh, thanks, May. Dazai's expression hardened when he looked at the card he drew from Gyobu. What's wrong? Drew the Joker? Oh, well, I can't say. I think Dazai makes things pretty obvious, too. I'm okay with it. That sounds interesting. So I just answer it without lying. If that's it, I'm fine with it, too. I've got nothing to hide. Alright, in that case, I better win this. I never said I'd do it. Come on, don't be a spoilsport by being the only one who refuses. Fine. He looks nervous. And sweaty like, are you the producer? Fuck, I said I'd tell you the truth. You know, they're not going to say yes. The bet made the game a heated one, and we all held out until we had very few cards. Gyobu's going to win, and he's going to ask me and I'm going to lose, probably. In the end, I lost the game of wits to Gyobu and was in last place. I get the feeling that you trapped me. Why? It's just a matter of luck for these games. Then I think your luck is too good, Gyobu. Yeah. Enough with the compliments. I want the prize for the bet we made. I just need to answer the question, right? Go ahead, I'll answer anything. You better not ask anything weird. It's not weird. So here's the question. Question. What's your favorite food? That's the question you want to ask? Why did the music get so dramatic all of a sudden? It's like, dun-dun-dun. It was like, do-do-do-do-do. And now it's like, dun-dun-dun. The drama music. Here. Oh, am I... What? Like, seriously? What's happening? Come on now. Answer me. My favorite food is... I like sweets in general, but maybe I should pick cakes. Fruit tart, chocolate cake, tiramisu. I mean, obviously, this actually doesn't matter. I want to say tiramisu, because out of these, I would like tiramisu better. Like, I like cake, like the cake itself. When you make a cake, it's the frosting I usually don't like. The only reason I don't like cake. I've never, like when I was a kid, I didn't want cake for my birthday. I get ice cream cakes. Because, like, frosting was just literally fucking sugar. Now you can get, like, cream cheese frosting or buttercream frosting. I'd still prefer a cheesecake or an ice cream cake to a regular cake, but... Anyway, it doesn't matter, but the right answer is chocolate cake. Okay. Maybe chocolate cakes. I like the ones with nuts on them, too. If you aren't interested, then don't ask. He's going to bring us chocolate cake, isn't he? But I am interested. Next question. There's more than one? That was like a test question. Next will be the real thing. Now don't lie to me. Here goes. That was to gauge if we're telling the truth? Like, sure. The me who only tells the truth, or the me who only tells lies. If you had to choose, which would you prefer? Huh? The me who only tells the truth will tell ruthless truths no matter how harsh they are. I won't care even if you get hurt. That's who I am. Me who only tells lies will cover up the truth with kind lies that'll be gentle on your ears, but in exchange, you'll never hear truthful things. Pick one. Let's hear it. I feel like we'd pick the truthful one. Because we wouldn't want pretty lies. You know what I mean? Like, what do you... Well, here's the thing. You would know. If you were like, oh, what do you think of this outfit? He'd be like, oh, it's beautiful. And you're like, oh my God, you hate it. Or he'd be like, ooh, doesn't look that great on you. And then you know what I mean? It'd be like opposite day. So you would always know technically if he was telling the truth. But, I don't know. I feel like she would say the truth. But I feel like this is getting us into a dangerous spot. Yeah, the Gyobu only tells the truth. The Gyobu only tells the truth. Oh, so it's that one. Because even if it may be harsh, it can't be helped if it's the truth. I hate it even more if you were lying to me. Oh, really? And there are times when it's better to hear white lies. See? Like right behind you. I always see this thin old man with a pale face right behind you. Did you know? Just kidding. That was a joke. You just end up lying anyway. That's true. Then I'll do as you say starting next time. Are you really doing it? Well, let me think about it some more. Why? You answered me truthfully, didn't you? I did, but it's difficult to pick just one. I don't think people can decide that easily. I think you'll find out when you try. What? Big Sis seems to have so much trouble just answering a question. Gilbu sure is genuine at troublemaking. You flatter me. It wasn't a compliment. Well, since we played a lot, I think it's time for me to go back. And never come back here again. Sorry, Dazai. I love you, but... getting weird. Are you sure? He thought you had business here today. Haiji glanced over at Gyobu. Well, I'd been curious about things. I couldn't question him after that exchange, but the fact that Haiji knows that, this is fucking weird. I'll come back again soon. Bye for now. Like, I thought you were going to question Gyobu some more. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know that? Gyobu sure is a tough nut to crack. I went back to the lodging and thought about things. However, I ended up feeling anguished about it, and I couldn't come to a conclusion about anything. In the end, no matter what I ask Gyobu, it's all meaningless unless I can verify what he's saying to be the truth or a lie. I don't know just how much of what he says is true. He just seems like the complete opposite of me. I don't think he's a bad person. He just doesn't have a straightforward personality. Besides, I don't think Gyobu hates me in particular, but is it conceited of me to think that? I entered the living room and saw Akase lying on the couch like a corpse. While glancing over, my eyes met with Abana's. Oh, Abana, I miss you. What's wrong? I'm just tired physically and mentally. Sena, didn't you see the drama just now? I was walking over here, so I didn't watch it. Was it a drama with Akase and Abana? That's right. It was a rather extreme suspense drama. You were right not to watch it. Just watching it's tiring. I have to wonder what's so fun about watching that. Was it that bad? Abana played the role of a serial killer that chases Akase around to try and decapitate him. That's fucked up. Poor Abana. Although at the same time, it's like, just pretend Akase's a girl. Pretend Akase is your father's girlfriend. Take your anger out. And there was no murder scene itself, but it may come eventually. You know, the dramas have been getting more extreme as of late. Whether it be with the romance or suspense dramas. Yeah, and I mean, it's one thing to stab someone, because you know, okay, you feel pain for a split second and then you'll be fine, but how do you decapitate somebody and, like, then their head gets put back on? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I know we're not real, but at the same time, like, wouldn't that be way more suspicious than, oh, if you get stabbed, the bangle will, like, heal everything? You know what I mean? Isn't that a little more sus? That was the case with Chigasaki's drama, too. I get the feeling that it's probably building up the story to the climax in the final episode. Producer must be adjusting it to be that way. As we get more used to it, the content itself is also escalating.
Was it that way for the previous stream, too?
Ivana frowned a bit, but he calmly nodded. Content's getting more extreme. Even more than it is now? Yeah, because they want to push you to dead ends. Would it be possible to continue on like this without taking the punishment game?
It'd be difficult. It's a harsh prediction, but most likely someone will take a punishment game in the near future.
Huh. It definitely is a harsh prediction. You sound like you already know what'll happen. But it'll probably be correct. Timose just interjecting in the conversation. Timose appeared unexpectedly. It was as if he'd heard the conversation and slipped right into the topic. Yeah, which is pretty, like, I don't want to say cliche, because that makes it sound bad, but you know what I mean? Like, you know when you watch movies and everyone's talking, there's always someone who, like, comes in with, like, dropping some knowledge, like, and that's probably what's going to happen. And you're like, oh, so-and-so just popped in with that wild... I'm, like, not surprised this happened. It's quintessential to any kind of drama. How would you know? I came here to warn you of it. The drama that you two were in just now. It's based on the play called Salome. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is getting a little fucking bizarre. Because that's a character in Verce Evermore that we're playing in tandem with this. They should be going up. That should be up now. Yeah, I think they're both in tandem now. Like, I'm tied as to the parts that are going up that I'm recording at the same time are all going up around the same time. That's fucking weird.
It's like the game knew.
Also, I'm really fucking excited. I'm sure somebody posted on a video like that went up yesterday or is going to soon, but because this is like the end of February, the beginning of March at this point, I'm not really sure when. But the Radiant Tail fan disc is getting localized, and it's due out in summer. I can only hope it is timed that when Verce ends, we have the Radiant Tail fan disc so we can play it right after, because I'm gonna need the fluff as a palate cleanser. Oh, if only the timing could be that perfect. I'm so excited. Anyway. Salome.
I think I've heard of it before. It's not a happy story.
It's a twisted love story about a princess named Salome. She tries to seduce a prophet who refuses her when she declares that she'll kiss him. Ultimately, Salome has the king behead the prophet, and she kisses his decapitated head. Wow. And the drama's based on that? I already said that. Ibana's role is the king who does the beheading, and Akase is the prophet who'll be beheaded. In other words, I'll be beheaded in the end? I mean, did you not? Even Timose didn't need to come up and say that. Ibana's playing a serial killer who's trying to behead you. You didn't think it would come to that? I think so. This drama seems to follow the story of Salome faithfully. The living room became quiet. Timose, who came to warn everyone, looked away awkwardly. If my guess is incorrect, all the better. But you should still be careful about it. Alright. Thanks for letting us know.
You see, so the other participants until now were forced to do dramas they couldn't accept, ultimately leading to dead ends. And just for reference, Ibana, how did the surviving participants manage to overcome such harsh times?
Ibana's face twisted in pain in response. They didn't overcome it. As if to drown it out, he raised his voice even more. Things are getting harsh. All that needs to be done is to return before it gets to that point.
And that may be true, but...
Just find the producer. I'm sure you've already narrowed down the ones that are suspicious. The ones that were suspicious? Everyone knew who he was referring to. They were Dazai, Gyobu, and Haiji. I mean, they are the locked route, so they are the most suspicious, to be fair. Here's the thing, though, that I don't necessarily like the way they did the unlocking, because say you went down one character for each group. Then you hit Gyobu. Gyobu, Dazai, and Haiji now are all, and then there's something in your brain that would trigger you. Like, there's 3 locked routes. Okay, there's 3 characters in each group, cooking, cleaning, investigation, right? So you do one in each. Then you get Gyobu, right? You haven't done the other 2 unlocked. You haven't done any of the other 3 unlocked routes. This makes it kind of obvious who the fucking locked routes are. You know what I mean? So if you played and you did Gyobu 4th, you'd be like, oh, well, Dazai and Haiji are then super fucking sus, and it doesn't give you as much, like, time to kind of... I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought Gyobu and Haiji were sus as fuck from day one, okay? Well, as soon as we found out Haiji was supposed to be 12, I was like, nope, done, sussed out. No, not really 12, lying. That red flag, okay? But, like, let's just say you were going along with it, and you're like, okay, I don't really know. Everyone's sus. Everyone is sus. You know what I mean? Whatever, and you weren't sure. This would just kind of be like an obvious, oh, all 3 of them are really sus. They should be the locked routes. Because just the 3 of them going, you know what I mean? So, again, that's just me not particularly liking that they unlocked these 3 as long as you did 1 route in each group. You know? So I suppose the way to technically avoid that would have been doing, you know, everybody in the cleaning team, then everybody in the cooking team, then the investigation team. But once you did 1 person in the investigation team, then that other character unlocked. You know what I mean? But that would have been a way to kind of avoid it and get a majority of the characters out of the way and done before you got to them. But if you're not using a guide, I mean, I don't know. So again, I'm not really sure how they could have done it better, aside from you have to do all 6 routes before these 3 unlock, you know? And if you're going in blind, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, okay, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm on this person. Oh, I'm on this person. Okay, yeah, you're going to get sus as you go along. Once you do 2 from... Was Gyobu on the cleaning team? I don't really remember. But, like, let's say you do the first 2, and then you're like, okay. Then you would know Gyobu's left. But once you get later in, you know. But I don't know. So I think it's just a little bizarre. Because, like, these 3 almost have a separate split in the common end. Like, that makes it kind of obvious that they're the locked routes. And doing that way early would kind of... I feel like could possibly take away from it. If you didn't know, and then you're like, oh, now I know. You know what I mean? Like, I was pretty sure Kyobu and Haiji were sus as fuck and were at the end. But I didn't know the other one. And then it was like, okay, we got down to, it's Chigasaki or Dazai. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, it was still a toss-up in my mind. Like, it could have been either one, but... Anyway. The conditions are much more favorable than previously. You can take advantage of that to find the producer. The way Abana had said that before, though, makes it sound like they didn't overcome it. Makes it sound like, in his mind, he's the only one that returned. You know what I mean? But Dazai was here before. But then the fact that Ibana doesn't remember Dazai. We don't know if Dazai remembers Ibana. Okay. We don't know. But if Ibana doesn't remember Dazai, is that because Dazai's the producer? Or why else would Dazai have been here and then Ibana doesn't remember him? But we also don't remember him. I really want us to be the producer. I really do. I really wanted to get to the fact that, like, we're the producer and we just had our memories taken and, like, Dazai somehow in on it and that's why he knows who we are and he's like, I need you to remember. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Man, that'd be the best fucking twist. I would be like, I didn't see it coming, but I've made this guess. But, like, honestly, if they did that, I would be like, I didn't honestly expect them to do that. You know what I mean? Sure, I threw that out as an idea, but I really am like, I don't expect them to actually go that route, but that'd be fucking amazing. Anyway. If only it were that easy, right? Akase, then you better be prepared to get your head cut off. We have to corner the producer and take back what was taken from us to end this life here. That's all there is to it. That's just all there is to it, sir. Ivana frowned a bit deeper than usual before returning to his room. Our poor little salty marshmallow. He just needs a hug. Somebody go hug him, that's not me. I want to hug him, but he'd hate that right now.
If anything, he's consistent.
I didn't think his determination was wrong. Mose observed the situation quietly, but I could tell he had the same mindset. Cutting off someone's head. That's something no one here could do. I don't know. Abana seems to think he can. Even for Akase. I glanced at Akase's face and he looked worried, just as I'd expected. He smiled when our eyes met. There's nothing for you to worry about, Sana. I'll do something about it. In order to do that, we even cut off our friends as a means to it. His tone was heavy and weighed down my heart. I don't know if Abana would be able to do it in the heat of the moment, but possibly. But also you could seriously just be like, they want you to die. Are they going to give you a punishment game if you refuse to cut his head off? What if you just go up and like stab him to death? You know what I mean? Like technically you finish the act because the act ends in murder, but is it going to be like, because they're okay with some ad-libbing and adjustments as long as it's entertaining, and brutally stabbing Akase would still be entertaining for Arcadians, right? Anyway, the following day, I'm sure it's not that easy, like Akase said. We continued our life as usual, but after dinner, we all gathered to talk about more ominous things. Even if there are more of the extreme dramas, as long as we don't have enough points, we have to find ways to get through them. Tommy, are you okay with getting your head cut off or your eyes gouged out? Either that or... Man, enough of that gory talk!
Everyone has their own limits on how much they can withstand, and there's no point in talking about that. Rather, it's been a while since they've been quarantined, but the situation hasn't changed much. And that goes for the sponsors' movements, too.
And the materials are still being supplied without any changes. Hey, I wonder why.
Yes, the Arcadians also say they're still receiving supplies from the sponsor.
And does that mean the sponsor isn't among those three? Only if you believe the Arcadians. None of those three are the sponsor. That's more than enough to give me relief. I want to take the game at face value right here when it says none of them are the sponsor. Because we know Shigasaki and Futami are sponsors. It doesn't mean there's not a third one. But I feel like, again, I hope there's not. Because that's too much. You know what I mean? That's too many people being a sponsor. And we definitely, one of them's the producer, absolutely. My bet's still on Haiji. Although Dazai's starting to look a little sus, and now I'm concerned. I don't want to believe that, but I'm a little concerned about it. But we don't know really the level of involvement of the other two. But, because I don't feel like it's safe to say, well, maybe Gyobu's not involved and the other two are, because route order means nothing, really. We saw that with the two sponsors being called out first. But it would be weird if we had the two sponsors and then these three are also involved. But I still don't know what it could be they're hiding, though. One of them's definitely the producer. I'm still betting Haiji. If Dazai's the producer, then Haiji's a fucking alien. If we're the producer, Dazai's involved and Haiji's an alien. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. Right now, the sponsor's identity isn't important. What's more important is that we figure out who the producer is. Yeah, but finding the sponsor might lead to figuring out who the producer may be. I wonder if it'll be that simple. The sponsor is called the Fanatic. I doubt they'll confess that easily. Maybe if we take away what's precious to them. There's a Chigasaki as he wets himself. And now, I love the fact, though, we're talking about the sponsor and the two of them are just on screen together. Nice. I feel like the game purposely, they were like, wait, let's have them both talk, and then they're both there, and it's like, because at this point, you probably know that they're both sponsors, you know? Will you torture the sponsor after catching them? I hope you'll get the answer you want that way.
And the most we can decide on right now is to simply maintain the quarantine. We haven't figured out who's who, so torturing is human rights issues.
Tommy's like, are you going to torture him? Because that sounds awesome. I would love it. The stakes are life and death, and you're worried about human rights? Do we really have time for that? He's like, just torture them. I love it. And then the best way is to get through it, even if we have to take punishment games and continue saving points. All we need to do is find the producer. We weren't able to do that, so that's why... Hey, we're just going in circles now. It really is difficult to find the answer. I couldn't think of the answer or a good suggestion, so I kept quiet and listened to everyone. I think the best thing I could do is continue talking to those three. If I can get them to talk about what the truth may be, it lead to more clues. While I was thinking about that, the talks among everyone else became heated. Although I decided on what I'd do, no one here seemed to have come to the same conclusion. If they found out that I'd been going to those three in this situation, I think it would have been the cause of further arguments. I should be more careful. I have to use what limited time I have. And then some time had passed since quarantining those three, and we'd asked the watcher in the living room to do nighttime lookout. Three of them never tried leaving the location even once, and nothing about our situation seemed to change as a result of the quarantine. That was why no one was on lookout. I opened the window and looked around. The curtains were closed in the other rooms, and I didn't see anyone in the yard either. Watcher, can you make me a ladder? Maybe one made of rope, about 5 meters long?
Request accepted. Commencing composition.
I used the ladder created to escape out the window. When I got to the ground level, I had the watcher retrieve the ladder, completing my escape. That's more suspicious than if you walk downstairs and then someone hears you go, oh, I'm just going to get a drink. Don't worry about it. And then you just chill. Like, I can't sleep, so I'm just going to sit downstairs and watch TV or something. And then, then you sneak out the front door. You know what I mean? There would be a separate set of problems if someone saw me go out like this. I mean, but even so, I think that Gyobu knows something important. I used my bangle to send Gyobu a message. I want to talk, so can we meet now? I wrote that and sent it out. Ooh, yeah, he's going to be like, all right, you're going to meet in secret in the dark. The path I ran down was lit by both moons, and I waited for his response as the watcher looked on. I tried to gather my breath as I approached the watcher that was on lookout. It noticed me and turned around in a way that I couldn't help but laugh at. Oh, but it should be recording a video of this. Although we were keeping watch, the door was locked from the outside, and the watcher was simply filming it. We checked the video the next morning to verify that the three of them hadn't left. What do I do? I'm already on video. I was thinking of what to do, and my bangle rang. It was a call from Gyobu, so I turned it on, although I was a bit hesitant. Thank you for calling me for a midnight tryst. Where are you right now? Oh, I'm in front of the warehouse door right now, but the watcher's on lookout at night. I've already been filmed, so I'm wondering what to do. I see. Unlock the door for me. Oh, the lock? But leave it to me. Just open up for now. Call was cut off from there. I wondered what he was planning to do, and I asked the watcher to unlock the door. Yobu was already behind the door, and he waved at me when it opened. Hey there. This midnight rendezvous is so romantic, don't you think? I mean, sure, a little bit. Never mind that. What do I do with the watcher? You said you'd take care of it. He's good with technology. He's gonna delete the video. You're getting better at ignoring what I say. Oh, fine. Yobu sulked for a bit and started fiddling with his bangle. He did something with the screen while checking the rear side of the watcher. What are you doing? I'm already done. Here. Yobu tapped at the bangle, and the screen of the watcher on lookout suddenly went dark. Huh? The watcher floated just like usual, fell to the ground, and I managed to catch it just in time. I mean, I'm just saying. We're like, oh, we use the watcher to keep on lookout to watch. That doesn't mean he's not sneaking out at night. To be fair, if you didn't know who the sponsors already were and you did this, you'd be like, oh god, yeah, no, spot right there. That's sus as fuck. It's still sus as fuck, but I'm kind of leery as to peg him as a sponsor because, 3 of them? That seems crazy. You know what I mean? Nice catch. You could have just left it there. You're so kind. And also the fact that he's really good with technology, he'd probably be really good at controlling the director and doing all that while being a participant. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I think I'd love that because I'd be like, yeah, no, okay. Huh? What did you do? I shut off its power. I also went back and deleted the video so that you won't show up in it. Huh? How? I felt surprised while I placed it on top of a box, but it didn't react at all. It really was shut off. I accessed the bouncer's programming, and this bouncer isn't exactly a security model, so it's pretty easy. It's still amazing that you can do that. I said it's easy. You could do it if you just study a bit. Anyway, where do you want to go? I feel like the game is calling me out right now because, like, it's like you can do it if you study. It's really easy. God damn you. You know what? Because I'm having a rough time at work right now. The projects that I'm working on are not easy and everything is broken. And it's like, if you just, you know what? The hell with you, game. Now you made me mad. Jesus. Good God. I swear to God, my anxiety and stress from just today at work was through the roof. Like, the person I'm working with, she was like, do you want to talk? And I'm like, only if you can handle me having a mental breakdown. She's like, no, don't do that. I was like, I got on the phone with her. I was like, I was in the midst of crying. Because, like, that's how I handle my stress. I was like, I don't know what to do here. I hate everything. It's actually funny because one of the things I was doing, I'm like, it's just not working here. And then I opened something up. I'm like, that's because I had this not in. Okay, I got to fix that. I'm like, okay, well, that at least explains that issue. Still didn't fix anything, but, you know, she's laughing at me. She's like, I do that all the time. Like, you just make stupid mistakes. You're like, well, that was stupid. You know, you're like, I don't understand why my password isn't being accepted. And then you're like, oh, I mistyped it. You know what I mean? It's like that. You're like, I accidentally coded that out. But that I'm like, that needs to be there. That's why it's not working. That's why it's saying it's invalid, is because it's not there. Like, okay, duh. You know? There's so much other shit wrong, and I'm like, oh dear God. So the guy who trained me and showed me all the stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna make you cry on Monday. I'm gonna make you cry to figure out why. Like, there is a thing, and the thing I'm working on, that if the box is checked, that means like okay, check the box for yes, right? Yes. That's yes. That means you can. It's yes, good, true, valid, whatever, right? My system goes through and goes, you can't do that. You don't have that ability. But the box is saying I do. But if you uncheck the box, then you do, but then it also is saying, but you also don't. So if the box is checked, I can't. If the box is unchecked, I also can't. That doesn't make any motherfucking sense. I'm like, I can't anymore. Like, I feel like I'm in like, it was like the Mad Hatter did this shit. I don't even know. But anyway, this is the game calling me out right now. You can do it if you study. You know what? I'm going to throw something at you, Gyobu. Don't even. All right? Don't even. Where? You escaped out to come here, right? Let's go somewhere we like. It's a nighttime date. Come on. He held out his hand to me, but I just smacked his hand and turned around. I like how he's like, come on, it's a date. And you're like, fuck off. But yet, we're going to fall in love with him? I don't think there's any platonic routes, right? Unless Haiji actually is a... look, he's either 16 or 17 like us, or he's an Arcadian, but he's definitely not 12. All right? Because there's no way. If he really was, then it would be a platonic route. But I don't believe that for a second. He says shit, especially at this point in this juncture at the end of the common area and whatever. That's just way too fucking mature and way too on the ball and on the nose and intuitive for someone who acts like they don't fucking understand anything. You know what I'm saying? So. Alright, let's go then. You're no fun. Not yet. And that's why we came to the library. Let me guess, you've never had a boyfriend before. Why do you care? There's actually something I need to find out. He's like, you've never had a boyfriend before because you're taking your boyfriend here. And you're like, you're not my boyfriend. I was hoping you'd ask me whether I had a girlfriend before. I've started to laugh, and then it was supposed to be on. Have you had a girlfriend before? Nope, you're my first one. Well, I'm not your girlfriend. Yobu laughed and placed a disc in my hand. What's this? There's some particular data in there. Want to guess what it is? Data? Looks like a past episode. The design looked familiar. It was the same as the Otherworld stream's past episodes that I'd seen numerous times in the library. Correct. Now how about we watch it together? How long have you had this? Because you've been in quarantine for like days. Okay. We sat next to each other and started playing it. Is it one with Dazai? The video was different from regular dramas, and the recording was an exchange with the director. Oh. Also, it couldn't be with Dazai after as I said that, my brain was like, no, because you can't see the prior stream. We found the custody list, but you can't see the prior ones, so. There's too much static to make anything out. It's still much better than previously. See this? There's one person here, and another here. I see silhouettes, but what is it? The camera pulled away to show a wider angle, and then I noticed the 9 silhouettes. I felt deja vu when I saw this. Is this the video that she saw when she was little?
Wonderful! You managed to correctly find the producer.
The screen shook and the voice cut off. Oh, that's no good. The static gets terrible around here. And the other one's better. Let's watch that one. So this must be the prior... Well... Somebody found the producer, so a prior stream did. But I thought they established that only the one before us... So say we're like cast number 10, group 10, we're season 10. Season 9, like, are the only ones where not everybody hit a dead end. Right? Before that, everyone hit a dead end. So that would be implying that season 9 was the one who found the producer. But, maybe I'm wrong here, but my brain wants to think that if you find the producer, we'll let you go, was only instituted in our group. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I thought it was like, okay, we'll do things differently. Like, we're changing it as we go, so. But, so now I'm curious. If they found the producer, then then they took your memories because Ibana thinks that everybody else hit the way he worded that sounded like he thinks everybody hit a dead end. But Dazai was in that group, so they don't remember each other. So that very well could have been. So it could be if that was supposed to be Ibana's cast, season 9, right? Ibana thinks everybody hit a dead end. He had gotten the punishment game. He came back to get his arm back because once you lose a function, even though Chigasaki said, I'll get my leg back when we go back to our world, that's not how it works. I feel like that was supposed to make him like be a little red flag that he's suspicious versus they forgot their own rules, the writers, you know? So if Ibana's group figured out who the producer was, they sent them back, but then they took their memories and it made it seem so Ibana's thinking, well, I got home, but he made it in his mind, he thinks that everybody else hit their dead end because he said the way he said that, you know? Maybe I misread that. And I'm misinterpreting that, but at any rate, I feel like whether he thinks everybody hit a dead end or not, he doesn't remember the other participants, right? And they may have found the producer, but is the producer the same person or not? And maybe the producer, well, again, I thought they said, oh, the producer's amongst you, find him. So the sponsors, we know, have always been playing the games or whatever, but was the producer always part of the cast? Because I feel like I'm remembering it being like this is the first time the producers joined the group. So suss them out type of a thing. Or maybe it's just, oh yeah, no, the producer's part of the group, but we're giving you the option to suss them out so you can go home. Anyway, I don't know. Let's see. Hey, is this... Screen switched out. As Gyobu said, there seemed to be much less static noise over the voices. But the screen was dark, and I couldn't make out the faces. Why did you lie? You always said you were on our side! All these suckers get tricked! Wasn't I a great liar? I was surprised at the voices I heard and turned to Gyobu. Gyobu just made a faint grin as he pointed at the screen to tell me to keep watching. Are you saying that... Now I'm wondering... Surprised at the voices I heard. Are we saying these voices we should recognize? Because then I'm wondering if it would be Ibana and Dazai, right? Because they were in the prior stream. Okay. Anyway, too bad, but you can now return soon. There's no need to feel down about it. Calm down and listen to me carefully. Footage became blurry and cut off there. I can't recover it past this point. What do you think? Figure something out? There were 9 silhouettes in the beginning, and there was also the bad static noise. It's the past episode that I saw immediately after coming here. So, it must be a past episode from the previous stream, right? Correct. I'm surprised you figured it out. Applause. So, I don't know when she said the voices, if she means she recognized the voices or just the words the voices the people were saying. You know what I mean? Wait, what is this? Why do you have this? And I heard your voice in the footage right now, too. So, okay, that answers that. I would have thought it would have been Abana Dazai, but it was Gyobu. Okay. Well, look, I've never not said he's sus. So but he said, I am the director. I'm still betting on that. I still just want that to be the case, guys. Calm down. Let's take it step by step. I'm not going anywhere, okay? I faced Gyobu one more time and started asking my questions. This episode from a previous stream was something I saw right after coming here. It became unwatchable and it vanished from the library. I asked everyone if they knew where it had gone. So why do you have it, Gyobu? First off, this past episode was in the library right after we came here. Just like the other past episodes. And just like with the other past episodes, the discs here all linked with our bangles. But if you take the disc from the library, you can't access the data anymore. And you also can't watch it from your bangle either. So he's saying all of the past stream, Ibana and Dazai's stream, was in the library. If you take it out, it's no longer accessible. Somebody came and took it out. I always thought, and I don't know if we ever knew that before. I mean, we knew that, like, things, you can't take things out of the library or whatever. Only certain people can. So somebody obviously just took it the fuck out. But they've always made it seem like, you can't watch the past stream. Maybe because people here were part of the past stream and it leaves a little more mystery. You know what I mean? So, like, the next stream that comes in can't watch ours, but it sounds like they actually can. And it makes it... Well, we know Abana didn't do it. Well, at least I wouldn't think he did. But so somebody now makes Dazai look even more suspicious because he's the one that would want to cover that. Although, Gyobu's voice was on there, so you were here too then. You just didn't lose anything. And now, okay. Alright, okay. Alright. That's why the footage that you saw right after coming here was when the disc was still in this library. When I saw the episode on the first day, the disc was still at the library. Was still at the library or in the library, not both. But what about after that? I took it. Right after we arrived, I pretended to go to sleep and snuck out to the library instead. The previous episodes aren't available to check out. It was during the preview period, so they granted all my requests. Oh, but why did you have to take it out? Well, about that. The data was corrupted, so I thought about fixing it. You can't tell a thing by watching it like this. That's why I kept it for myself. I thought about showing you a truth that you don't even want to see. Truth that I don't want to see? I was here too. And that's what it was at the time. You were brought here without any information and you knew nothing about the Otherworld stream. Everyone probably thought that someone would eventually come to their rescue. You probably weren't an exception. Recovering the data is harder work than I thought. I don't have the right equipment here, and I had to build the program from scratch using the bangle. Again, you're so tech-savvy that, like, how are you not involved in some way, is all I'm saying, right? But... Alright, hold on a second. Okay, because previous episodes aren't available, that you can't take them. You can watch them on your bangle, but you can't take them out. But he did take them. He said during the preview period, you could get anything you wanted. So he was like, I'm going to take these. But she's like, why? And he said the data was corrupted. But he also just said before, or we said before, whatever, it was confirmed literally 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, that taking the disks out corrupts the data. So Gyobu's saying like, oh, the data was corrupted, so I took it to try to fix it. Wouldn't it make it worse? I mean, I guess once it's corrupted, it can't get corrupted any worse. But why was it corrupted? You think someone took it out and then put it back? I took it out of the library, it's corrupted, I put it back. Well, once it's corrupted, it's corrupted. You know what I mean? It's like you can't chuck your phone in water and then take it out and be like, well, it's fixed now because it's not in water anymore. It's still water damaged. You know what I mean? So taking the discs out of the library would corrupt them, and even if you put them back, they're corrupted. So if Gyobu didn't do the corrupting, somebody else could have done that. Like, oh, during the preview period, I took them out, and then I popped them back on the shelf. So they're here, you just can't watch them. The same with, or was able to do it with their bangle, whatever. The same with the custody list. We saw the custody list. Iochi went back and was like, that last page was corrupted. So that makes Dazai look sus again. Or Haiji because he's fucking with us. I don't know. Haiji fucking with us to make Dazai look sus, but anyway. I used a variety of methods, but in the end, this is what I got after all that trouble. Why did you keep quiet about it all this time? Why? Well, that's because everything I said just now was a lie. Huh? Just kidding. Who cares about what's the truth or what's a lie? Just believe in what you want. That's not good at all. I want to know what's true. Then just pick what you want to believe in. That will be the truth. What you don't believe in will all be a lie. What? Then it's useless talking about anything. I love that comeback. Do you want to end the questions here? No. One more question. Sure. Go right ahead. The voice from earlier sounded like you, Gyobu. Why were you in the previous stream? You should already know why. Do you have to hear me say it directly? Directly? As in directing, as in the director? Obviously he was here before, but again, we don't know in what capacity. I want to hear it. Tell me. Well, that's because I'm a previous participant. Knew it. Huh? I thought you'd be more surprised. That voice earlier was definitely you, Gyobu. You're awfully knowledgeable about the other world, so I thought that was why. Oh, really? Okay, like, I have to say, like, I'm not really surprised about this. But at the same time, I don't know if they gave us really any indication. Like, we knew Ibana, you knew Dazai. Gyobu coming out. Oh, I was a prior participant. Okay. Why did you come back? I mean, aside from you might be a little fucked up and you're having fun with this. But that still doesn't mean you're not the director. You know what I mean? Like, sponsors could come back. I mean, I don't know. Well, the sponsors might be different. Or, I'm sorry, Ibana doesn't... No. Gyobu always acted super friendly with Ibana, so I feel like that was a red flag there, right? But did they ever indicate or say that, oh, they're in the same class or whatnot? And maybe that's why they knew each other? Or it could have been like, okay, Ibana remembers Gyobu and just decided it's not my business to tell anyone he was here before. They found out I was here, I'm going to say it. Nobody asked about Gyobu, so I'm not going to say anything. Alright, fine. So that's valid. That could have been why Gyobu seemed so super close with Ibana. You know what I mean? Because, you know. But does Ibana know that Gyobu was here before? Does Ibana not? Because he said Dazai wasn't here. It's not like it's none of my business to say, or that's not my place to tell you. He's like, no, I'd fucking remember. So maybe Gyobu remembers, but Ibana doesn't. And if Gyobu remembers, that's sus as fuck. Why does he remember, but Ibana doesn't? You know what I mean? He just laughs it off. Huh, but Ibana is... Why didn't Ibana say anything? You were both participants in the same stream, so you must have been together. When the three of you had to leave the lodging, Ibana said you weren't a member of the previous stream. Was that a lie? Oh, I thought Ibana mentioned Dazai specifically, because they were asking about him, but I don't think they mentioned Gyobu. Maybe, well, regardless. Did Abana lie? Well, I don't know about that. Who's the liar here? Me? Hey, which do you think it is? You? Are you really going to ask me that? You're the one to decide. Oh, who is it? I don't know. Yeah, well, everything you say is starting to sound like a lie. Well, that's fine too. You're always too honest, so you should try and learn to doubt someone and use your head. The sneaky way of insulting me. I didn't say you were dumb. I think you're smart, but you need to think a little more. Because you're smart, you think that believing things obediently would make things easier for you. You have to learn that's not the case here. Then, I have one last question for you. Sure. You entered Akase's room once without permission. Why'd you do that? What was it for? Told you that. Can't say it was Haiji. I saw it. I saw you sneak in there. See. It's true that I went in there. He happened to have something convenient, so I thought about borrowing it for a little. Something convenient? I can't say anymore. There'll be a privacy concern past here. You went to borrow something. That's it? You sure you're not lying? That wasn't a lie. Unlike yours earlier. He knows I lied. Are those all the questions from you? Yes, but I get the feeling you didn't answer anything. The answer's inside of you, so it's okay. Anyway, it's no fun just answering questions, so I have a question of my own. The answer's inside of you. Were we here before and we just don't remember? And I guarantee you if she goes to Abana and says, like, listen, I know Gyobu was a prior participant. Was he with you? Ibana would be like, and you're like, I'm not going to tell anyone else, but I want you. And he'd be like, what? No, he wasn't. There's no point for Ibana to lie when you're like, I know for a fact he was. He told me. And if Ibana's like, what? No. And looking all confused, you'd be like, shit, he doesn't remember. And that means we already know we forgot something. So something was taken from us, and it could have been that we were here before. Or we're the producer. Goddamn. Fucking A game. Balls out. Go that hard. Come on. Yobu raised his hand and got closer to me. You still haven't remembered me? I hope you can soon. It makes me feel kind of lonely. Oh, that's right. I was so preoccupied with the other things that I forgot about it. Sorry, I still haven't remembered. I just thought that maybe I'd remember you if I learned more about you, Gyobu. I'm wondering if it was, again, part of the prior stream. Like, I feel like I'm starting to wonder, like, were we part of the prior stream and had a relationship with Gyobu or something? He's like, oh, you remember we used to flirt, and that's why he's so like. I can't imagine our personality would have been totally different, but we're gonna fall in love with Gyobu. That's the whole point of his route, right? Well, finding out answers and also falling in love along the way. This isn't a mystery game, it's an Otome game. We might solve a mystery, but we're still gonna fall in love with the axe murderer at the end, right? That's how this works. The bigger the trash, the harder we fall for them, right? So, like, it's possible we were part of the prior stream and we ended up falling for Gyobu, just like we're gonna do now, To be honest, even after hearing you talk, I'm just more confused now. Sorry. Did you do a little introspection? I have. I know how painful it is to be forgotten, and I'd hate to be forgotten too. You'd hate it? Why? For as long as I can remember, I've always had this feeling that I'd forgotten something important. I feel that something important's missing, but I can't remember what that is. It's Kyobu. But we also forgot Dazai too, so like... Again, were we in like a throuple? Were we in a love triangle? Because I'm into it. Thinking about that makes me inexplicably lonely, and I get sad thinking about it. That's why I don't want to forget anymore. Or maybe we were kind of torn, like we had feelings for both of them, but we couldn't make a decision. I see. I know how impatient you can feel when you can't remember something. Yobu, that's why you and Dazai asked me to remember something. I'll do my best to figure out what that is. Try my best to remember. But if I can't remember no matter what, can I get a hint? Sure, but I might lie about it. Sure, I'm getting used to it now. If what I believe in will become the truth, then I'll do my best to make it that way. He looked down with a light sigh, and in that moment, I didn't know how to react. Even then, I felt like I could never tell what Gyobu was thinking. This is where you just kiss me, and that's my hint. It seems to waver between lies and truth. That's just how Gyobu is. I really do understand the feelings of loneliness, of wanting to be remembered. I think I can grow closer to him if I only talk with him more. I should go back soon. Someone might notice if I'm gone for too long. Come on, stand up. Let's go. Gyobu just responded ambiguously, so I pulled at his hand to get him to stand up. But right when he stood up, he pulled at my hand hard. Oh, hi, CG. You knew how it was going to be. Oh, did you just pin me down? We were like having a moment, and now you just pinned me down, sir. Hi, thanks. Like, it's a nice CG. You sure are a troublesome girl, you know that? Oh, hey! You meet up with a guy in the middle of the night and you never considered it would end up like this? That's where you're lacking. Oh, he's doing this Meta Wolves bullshit with me. You know what, sir? I want to say what the fuck, but it's Gyobu, so like, I kind of half expected this. I mean, I wasn't like anticipating like, oh, he's gonna do this, but I'm just not surprised, I guess. It's like, yeah, you would be this character. I was stunned. My mind had run through the motions, thinking about what that meant. I don't know how you judge situations, but did you think I'd never do something like this? Again, honestly, I didn't purposely think about it, but I'm not surprised, sir. Gyobu was talking faster than I could think. I did. So, Gyobu, you joke often, but you aren't a bad person. You trust me? But if you trust me that much, you'll get hurt. Like this. He breathed on my neck. I shuddered and Gyobu laughed a few centimeters away from me. That's cute. You're like a bunny caught in a trap. But you jumped into it yourself. Can't be helped. If it were me, I would never get caught. We were just talking. What is this about a trap? No, it's not just this. You always fall into the trap so easily. I'm saying this because you're so gullible. And there's no need to trust anyone. I have to assume everything is a lie. Not trust anyone. Are you the same way, Gyobu? Of course. I would never trust anyone. Otherwise, I couldn't win in the game. But never... I was at a loss for words and looked on with surprise. Gyobu had no intention of taking anything back. He still held my hands tightly as he smiled. Then, Gyobu, do you hate that I'd suspect you? Are you okay even when I call you the traitor? Fine with it. Go ahead and keep suspecting me. The more you suspect me, the more I trust you. But I still can't really trust you. I'll just use you as a reference point. To win this game, that is. If I end up winning at this, celebrate it with me. I'd like to have you as the prize. Oh, but maybe by then... I looked up at Gyobu's face as he came even closer. I tried to shake my hand free, but it wouldn't budge. He's a boy, after all. I was surprised at how strong Gyobu was, and he spoke up. I wouldn't want to be left hanging here. Right when Gyobu kissed my cheek, I kicked him in the stomach with my knee. Oh, girl, that's not where you needed to kick him. Ugh. It sounded more painful than I thought, and I shook myself free while Gyobu flinched. I got down from the desk and kept my distance. This was done out of self-defense. It's your fault, Gyobu. I don't know why you're apologizing for kneeing him when he force-kissed you. And even if it was only on the cheek, it was still unwanted. I mean, I'm sure from her, but from us it was like, I'm not going to complain. It's Gyobu. I feel like if he wasn't shoving us down on the desk, getting a little creepy and weird, then we'd be like, who are you and what did you do with our creepy weirdo? You know what I mean? I guess I'll have to restrain your legs, too. Okay. That just got a little dark there, sir. I also have a watcher if it comes to it. Do you understand that? Then I'll shut it down next time. Girl, you can't tell him all your tricks. Not what I meant. But you know, doing this once in a while can be nice. You remember something from the shock. Oh, you might remember something from the shock. I won't. Even if it's to help me remember. Getting treated like this is... I don't like it. I'm only talking to you like this because I was able to trust you, Gyobu. I leapt away and took off running into the night. I thought I heard a voice behind me, but I wasn't so sure anymore. This doesn't feel that great. As I left the library, I had the opposite feeling from when I'd left the lodging. Interesting that he's like, I don't like this. Like, this doesn't feel awesome. Oh, are you starting to feel something, like realize that your actions might be douchey? But I'm really wondering, like, were we involved with it? Like, it's weird because the way Dazai is, like, they both want you to remember something. Okay, it could be totally something innocuous. My brain goes, oh my god, were we in love with you? Both? Because, like, Dazai is actually just so, like, nice and chill and seems very, you're like, look, you're sweet and wonderful, and you're probably the shadiest person because I don't feel like you're shady at all. So I'm gonna get bamboozled. Totally hard, right? But Yobo seems sus as fuck and always has, but he could just be a very suspicious jackass. Which, I mean, he's kind of coming across that way now, but you're like, you're still hiding something. You're part of the prior stream. Okay. But that can't be that can't be the end of it. You know what I mean? Probably, he obviously knows stuff. And Ibana was part of the prior stream, but he forgot everything. So, like, why? We might find out in Dazai's route, because we know Dazai was part of the prior stream. So Dazai's route would probably have the answers if the guide is like Dugyobu before Dazai. Okay. Then Dazai's would have the answer on why people forgot things. But then it also does make me think that, like, I don't know. I mean, I still think Haiji's the producer, but maybe not, because you'd get to Dazai's route and be like, oh, okay, Haiji's definitely the producer, and then Dazai comes out as the producer, and you're like, the actual fuck? And what's Haiji hiding, aside from he's an alien? I seriously think he might be an Arcadian if he's not the producer. He's one or both. Producer, Arcadian, both. Okay? Like, that's it. Like, all right. But, yeah, I don't know. This is intriguing. We're having fun now. I mean, okay, we've been having fun for a while. The only time I wasn't having fun was in Futami's route, because it just came out of fucking nowhere, and I was like, the hell? And again, that was a timing thing. So, I also still just feel like his personality came out of nowhere. He's like, he seems pretty just normal and there. He's kind of like a paper bag. It's just there. It is a paper bag. Like, he doesn't see, and then all of a sudden he gets like, oh, I like being stabbed and I'm twisty. And it's like, I'm still not seeing that anywhere. Like, he seems like the boring older brother. Like, oh, okay. All right, guys, we got to come in. No, we can't do anything fun. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I don't know. That's just me. Utami, for someone who's a psychopath, you're kind of bland the rest of the time. So when you come out as being a psycho, it's like, I don't really believe that. Everybody else, you're like, okay, you start to like him and then things, and you're like, oh, okay, wait a minute. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to stop here because we're over time, and we'll continue sussing out Kyobu and trying to figure out what it is we've forgotten. Did we forget that you tried to assault us before? Because maybe we want to leave that forgotten. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.